What's up guys, I'm randomfrankp, back with episode 214 of Room Tour Project, the series where we show off some of the best setups to give you some ideas and inspirations for your own setup. And this week we'll have a special budget edition showing you some ways to improve your setup without breaking the bank. Now, I always have to remind you guys every time I do one of these episodes that everyone's definition of budget is going to be different. There's just going to be a lot more scaled back. No triple monitors, no 2080 Ti's, more scaled back simple setups. And remember, just because someone's setup costs more than $20 total, that doesn't mean it's not budget. So if you see anything you like, I'll have it all listed for you in the description down below so you can check it out. But we'll kick it off now. Episode 214. First up, we have on Tran, and when I first saw this one, I was like, wait, there's no way this is considered budget. Then I went through and I was really impressed with all the hardware and peripherals and managing to pull together a really nice setup like this that integrates still RGB. It could still feel really cozy and put together. It's funny how the reds and oranges, make you feel warm, and then the blues make your PC cooler. You just know how it works. It also improves FPS. So for the display, it is an Acer 24-inch 1920 1080p 60Hz monitor. I don't know what the wallpaper he used here is from, but I'm getting like Skyrim pub vibes, you know what I'm saying? Just down in some meads with the local Nords and High Elves. By the way, shout out to the fellow Argonians. How do I have a wife? And then for the peripherals, he has the Razer Black Widow Ultimate Keyboard with a G502 from Logitech, which can be found for like 35 to 40 bucks, extended mouse pad, and his speaker there is the JBL Charge 3. And then over to the PC, we have a real nice budget build here in an ITX case. This is actually the Cougar QBX Mini ITX. Very, very affordable. Inside is a Ryzen 5 2600 CPU with 16 gigs of T-Force Delta RGB RAM on an Asus ROG B450i motherboard and a Sapphire RX 590 GPU. So Mr. Tran, I think you really pulled a nice theme together here. The warm RGB lighting and stuff matching to the wallpaper, some touch of plants to match the green RGB in the keyboard. You guys, some other things to make it more personal. A little Snorlax, some of those collectible figures, I think that's The Witcher. Really digging this. Now we have NotUsNot, play on words there, I'm liking it. And this is one that when I first saw, I was actually going to save for one of the clean and minimal editions. But then I was going through his hardware and I was like, he managed to pull off a really nice clean and minimal setup without breaking the bank. And you have to applaud that. Starting with his 22-inch HP monitor, sitting on the Sateki monitor stand. I showed that off in an episode of Cool Tech Under 50. Shout out to the series, go check it out if you haven't already. And I like the touch of the little moss terrarium, the snake plant, little succulent. Always good to have that touch of green. Then for the peripherals, we have the Budget King, the TechWare Phantom 87 RGB keyboard, hot swappable. It is the king of budget, under 50 bucks, with the Razer DeathAdder Elite mouse on a Novel Keys camping desk pad. You know what's up, my man. Just loving it. Then over to the PC, checking it out. It's an NZXT H200 case in white with a Ryzen 2700 CPU, Cooler Master ML240 AIO with 16 gigs of T-Force Delta RGB RAM yet again on the ASRock Fatality B450 Gaming motherboard and the XFX RX 580 GPU. Digging the blue and green colors going on inside, mixes well. And by the way, that light kind of strip is the Phanteks Neon. It's more like a thicker tube. I have them in my build. Also under 50 bucks, looking nice. So, NotUsNot. Again, you nailed clean and minimal while not breaking the bank. It looks really nice. I definitely gotta applaud you for this. Definitely inspirational. Love that. And then speaking of inspirational, there's something that you might not notice right away, but this setup blows my mind because, again, this could easily be included in a clean and minimal edition, but it's more budget, and I love when I start to see DIY integrations to save some money. So we'll get into that in a second. For his display, it is a Samsung 27-inch curved monitor. You know I'm gonna say it, but I'm loving the ivy, loving the plants, loving the Pokemon terrarium. Peripherals, we have the Corsair Gaming K55 RGB keyboard with the Blackstorm Merc RGB mouse. For audio, the Logitech Z200 speakers, and while not pictured here, the Logitech G35 gaming headset. Now we're going to move over to the PC, and this is what is crazy cool, because this is completely DIY, made from plywood, and it's stained and treated. He made his own case that looks something like you would see from like the Leon Lee case, pretty much. For hardware, he has the Ryzen 5 3600 CPU with a Noctua NH-U12S Chromax cooler, got 16 gigs of HyperX Fury RAM on an Asus TUF B450 Plus gaming motherboard with an MSI GTX 1660 Ti graphics card. So again, all of this saving money while building his own case. You love to see that, and in terms of cable management, everything behind the PC and monitor is all tucked away underneath in these sort of shelves, as you can see, which is going to free up a lot of space underneath. And guess what? This is a nice looking desktop, right? This also DIY. Made from plywood, stained, painted, and treated. All he did was pick up some legs from IKEA, and he has a super nice desk that's gonna match the stain and color of his DIY homemade PC case. Oh my god, I love it! This is the kind of stuff that gives me inspiration every week to do these episodes, and it doesn't get old. When I see stuff like this, it refreshes you. Coming up next, we have Elliot. And again, even though it's a budget setup, guess what? He wanted to spice his walls up a bit, add some like the vinyl tape to kind of get a design going to accentuate the RGB and just give it something extra, you know? And it looks really cool. What this tape probably cost him? What, like $2? Then when the RGB is off during the daytime, you know, it could still rock it like that, but I'm definitely liking the addition of the RGB light strip around the desk on both sides, and seemingly either behind the monitor or under that shelf. Can't really tell, but it's bright and looking nice. Okay, as you can see here in this shot, it's under the shelf, but we move on to his display. This is a 24-inch monitor from AOC. That's on a DIY monitor riser as well. That's built on top into the desk. And for the peripherals, we have the Logitech G413 keyboard with the Logitech MX Master 3. So a newer edition, you know, gotta upgrade the peripherals every now and then for the mouse. And then for audio, we got the Harman Kardon Soundsticks 3. And these are probably one of the more expensive things in the setup total. So, okay. For the PC underneath the desk, inside's a Ryzen 5 2600X CPU, stock Wraith cooler, got 16 gigs of G-Skills, Aegis, whatever you say, I never know how to say it, guys. Aegis, I don't care. MSI B450 Gaming Pro Carbon motherboard with a Galax GTX 1050 graphics card. So again, I really think just the addition of those 3 stripes on the wall take it from, like, you know, it looks okay to a different level, because it's a different dimension there. You know, there's a more abstract level to the design now going on, feeding like into the monitor. It draws your eyes to it more. It's just natural. You want to look at it because of the lines. It's looking good. The RGB, good stuff, my man. And then lastly but not leastly is Angelo with the all white and black Stormtrooper setup as told by the pop figure and the matching wallpaper here. So this one, he said, was under $500. Dollars, that's a new currency. Let's try that again. Dollars. So definitely a budget setup. Some things were gifted, some things he got on sale. So for the monitor, that is a 24-inch Nvision display. And what I really like, as you could see in this shot, for his monitor riser, that is just one of those styrofoam kind of packing inserts that I would assume came with some other hardware or even possibly the case he used. For the peripherals, that is a Techwear Phantom RGB keyboard, but he painted it himself white to match everything with the Rack Captain white mouse. And then as you can see, he also has his cables routed through that styrofoam monitor riser. Now over to the PC. We don't really have many photos of this, unfortunately, so this is kind of all we have to work with here. This is the Techwear Nexus M case inside an Intel i3 550 CPU with 8 gigs of HyperX Fury RAM and a GTX 660 graphics card. But I do like, despite the budget, he still nailed the white and black PC build with corresponding hardware. So altogether, again, I don't have an exact layout of what he spent, where he spent it, and how he got it, but when he says this was under $500 total for him, I'm gonna believe him. And it's just, you know, you can see what you can do. I like a lot of stuff like this. I like the little bits, like that DIY monitor riser with styrofoam. That goes a long way. Budget peripherals, budget hardware. This is looking real nice. A really clean white and black budget setup. Alright guys, that'll wrap it up for episode 214 of Room Tour Project. Hope you enjoyed this special budget edition. Don't forget, check the links in the description down below for all the gear and hardware you saw, plus some very simple instructions on how to submit your setup. If you want to be possibly considered in a future episode of Room Tour Project, just check the description down below for it all. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, show your support. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at randomfrankp. And last, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Hope y'all enjoyed. Have a good day.